area is full of foreigners, not only Nigerians. Nigerians, Zimbabweans, Mozambicans, Ghanaians. They call it Sunnyside in Pretoria. So those are the video. That's one of the video that you saw. Whereby I saw it when there's the Igbo people there. They say, come, we'll teach you a lesson. Come, we'll finish you. Come, one by one. The South Africans themselves knows that this area is no good area for foreigners. If you watch that video.
For foreigners or for South Africans?
No, South Africans know that this area, we've left this area for foreigners.
Okay.
You see, that is why on that video you didn't see any South African coming closer to them.
So foreigners have carved out colonies in South Africa?
That South Africa is full of 90% of people living there are foreigners in Sunnyside, Pretoria. 90%. That is where I was supposed to live in 1999. I lived there in 1999.
The deputy police chief said, I mean, it's only in South Africa that you will have foreigners taking about 60% of the jobs, carving out territories in another man's country. If you were in South Africa, would you be comfortable with that?
I may not be comfortable, but I believe that that government still have a lot of work to do. A lot of work to do.
Le memorandum esoyisenda namhlanje, enough is enough. Abokufika, they must go back to their own respective countries. Bayokwenza lokhu ekufanele bakwenze nabe inganeni zabo. One sinalento ethi kumanje siqale saba namaphara kudayiswa amahunga adayiselwa abantu bakithi abamnyama and abala eSouth Africa. You cannot even get one person ongakwazi ukuthi identify uthi this one is coming from outside the country. All Nyaupe people belongs to South Africa, but the instrument of creating these Nyaupes are not here in South Africa. So I was so shocked to see umongameli wethu naye ethi ufuna ama-foreigners ukwasayinela ama-sponsorship. Siwumkhonto wesizwe, si-RAFTU, si-MK Labour Desk. We are saying, Ramaphosa, you must leave the country and go to your own country and do what you are doing here in South Africa. We are tired about the foreigners and they must go.
Steel producer ArcelorMittal South Africa has announced it will be retrenching thousands of workers in its long steel business. The retrenchment process was initially announced in November 2023, but was halted after support from government and other stakeholders such as Transnet. However, in a SENS statement this morning, ArcelorMittal said this, together with its own interventions, was not adequate to ensure the sustainability of the business. It cites worsening market conditions with global steel demand down and prices under pressure. Furthermore, local factors such as high energy and logistics costs and the export tax on scrap metal also carry blame. AMSA says it will go ahead with the wind down of its long steel plants in Newcastle and Vereeniging, which may affect approximately 3,500 direct and indirect jobs.
One, it's the question on the right to trade. I think on that one, Section 22 of the Constitution is very clear that the right to trade is not extended. It's a right only for citizens. That is the first one. The second one is on the issue of the people that tends to assist those who do not deserve to operate these kind of businesses. Section 42 of the Immigration Act is very clear that no one should aid, no one should assist, no one should provide any kind of support, either be it in the form of providing immovable property, which in this case is basically the accommodation or the garages or the houses where these spaza shops are being run. What it means is that it becomes a serious offense, criminally and also in terms of the Immigration Act. Section 42 clearly stipulates that no one should aid, no one should abet, no one should assist a foreigner or an illegal foreigner during this process. So what it means is that those who are found, South Africans that are found assisting, fronting, like what Honorable Hlabisa have just said, assisting, fronting, presenting themselves to assist foreigners who don't deserve to form part of this process, they will be prosecuted and actions will be taken. And we are working closely with the municipalities. We are awaiting some of the information from the municipalities, like what Minister Hlabisa have said, that during the processing, some of the information that links to those that are fronting will be forwarded to us as the Department of Home Affairs and also the police, so that we can act on that. So that is on that one. And it's a clear warning to South Africans that let the process be not interfered with, and let us not assist those that are not supposed to be assisted, because it's against the laws of this country and it's against the immigration laws of the country.
The Democratic Alliance is awfully quiet about Cyril Ramaphosa's Phala scandal, a scandal involving millions of undeclared U.S. dollars hidden in a sofa and stolen from the president's farm should be front-page news. It should trigger outrage, investigations, public debates. Yet here we are, with the National Prosecuting Authority deciding not to prosecute, and the DA offering little more than a shrug. Why the silence? When it comes to black-led political parties like the Economic Freedom Fighters and the MK Party, the DA is full of energy, pouring resources into relentless attacks, picking apart every misstep, scrutinizing every word, and casting them as threats to democracy. But when it's Ramaphosa, they suddenly lose their voice. The scandal just fades into the background. If this were the EFF, the DA would be up in arms, screaming about corruption and accountability. There would be no stone left unturned. But Ramaphosa's indiscretions don't seem to matter. The silence speaks volumes, raising a bigger, more uncomfortable question. Is the DA, along with Ramaphosa's faction of the ANC, actively protecting the status quo? Is this a coordinated effort to ensure the continued economic marginalization of South Africa's black majority? Ramaphosa's policies, for all their promises of reform and growth, do nothing to address the deep-rooted inequalities in this country. The DA, for all its talk of transparency, has shown no interest in challenging these inequalities either. The two parties may seem at odds, but perhaps they are more aligned than anyone cares to admit. Ramaphosa represents a faction of the ANC that is comfortable with big business, comfortable with power remaining in the hands of a select few. The DA, whose voter base is largely middle class and white, isn't eager to disrupt this arrangement. Why would they? They benefit from it. The economic system that keeps millions of black South Africans impoverished is the same system that keeps their voter base comfortable. Instead of tackling the real issues, the DA distracts with political theater, attacking the EFF and MK Party to score easy points. It's convenient, it's safe, and it keeps the focus away from the uncomfortable truths that neither they nor Ramaphosa want to confront. They will never admit it, but they are protecting the same system. Their silence on Phala isn't just about one scandal. It's about preserving a political and economic order that suits them both. For a party that loves to preach about accountability, the DA's selective outrage is a glaring hypocrisy. They relentlessly pursue Jacob Zuma for his corruption, but when it's Ramaphosa, they look the other way. They paint themselves as defenders of democracy, yet they only seem interested in holding black-led parties accountable. Ramaphosa, with his ties to business and his appeal to middle-class sensibilities, is a convenient ally. The DA isn't just complicit. They are collaborators in maintaining a system of economic apartheid, where wealth and power remain in the hands of a few, while the majority of South Africans are left to struggle. The real tragedy isn't just the political maneuvering. It's that millions of black South Africans are trapped in poverty, while their so-called leaders, on all sides, play these games. Ramaphosa gets a pass because he represents stability for those in power. The DA plays along because they too are invested in preserving this stability. even if it means sacrificing the future of millions. The Pala Pala scandal is just one more piece of evidence that those at the top, whether in the ANC or the DA, have no interest in real change. Their silence on Ramaphosa is the clearest sign yet that they are united in protecting the status quo, ensuring that South Africa remains a country where the majority stay poor and the elite stay powerful.